While the weapon type you choose in Monster Hunter should be heavily decided upon based on your level of enjoyment, there is a weapon type in Monster Hunter World that is arguably the most overpowered of them all. If you have watched your fair share of Monster Hunter World speedruns, then you probably already know what that answer is going to be, or can at least guess, and that answer is the heavy bowgun. Specifically the playstyle that utilises the spread pellets. Of course there is other builds that utilise the other ammunition types, but specifically the spread pellet builds have made their mark. Of course a lot of what makes a weapon overpowered is the capability of the user themselves, but with that said, the heavy bowgun can offer quite strong damage output, with a lot of its damage output relying on the ability to stun lock its victim consistently. Due to this, I can safely state that this weapon type can be considered overpowered in many circumstances, but not all of them. Monsters that have large weak spots, like Fatalis, tend to be the monsters that make this weapon shine, with incredible speedrun times. The spread shells are able to connect extremely well, and in turn allow for more consistent stun locks. The heavy bowgun does require practice, and while it may be less practice than required for other weapon types in World, it still needs the player to learn the monster well and know how to time various aspects of the battle, like what mantles to equip and when, as well as having adept usage of the radial menu to maintain the damage output when crafting ammunition. The gameplay in the background is a good example of what I am talking about, where the speedrunner Relial, if I'm hopefully saying that correctly, is showing fantastic knowledge of the Fatalis battle, as well as solid positioning to maximise damage output. The spread heavy bowgun is pretty much a shotgun, and it definitely performs when used right. There are other weapon types that can be considered overpowered, if not extremely powerful in their damage output, but these offer varying levels of practice and skill to be achieved in order to achieve those higher damage numbers and shorter speedrunning times. The heavy bowgun allows for much easier time in play compared to that of the longsword or a greatsword, where monster knowledge and positioning become extremely vital given the less potent stun locking and no option for a shield. While the greatsword does offer that blocking capability, it doesn't dish out damage nearly as fast as the heavy bowgun is able to, at least in most circumstances. Dealing the amount of damage a heavy bowgun can is extremely hard to replicate with other weapons, if possible at all, and the skill gap there is much wider, making the meta builds for this weapon type extremely hard to top overall. To top it all off, the heavy bowgun is able to also use a shield component that makes builds much comfier, where incoming damage can be blocked out for a very small drop in outbound damage. I think many will agree in saying that the heavy bowgun is overpowered and broken in Monster Hunter World at the very least, but of course others may disagree. So let me know down below what you guys think of the heavy bowguns and where you think they rank within Monster Hunter in comparison to the other weapon types. As always, a like would be extremely appreciated, only if you did enjoy, and subscribe for a lot more Monster Hunter content. Don't forget to join our Discord, links at the top of the description, and thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.